Thanks, Jenna. Well, the federal budget has been tabled. Here with more on what the spending plan means for Manitobans is political analyst from St. Paul's College, Chris Adams. Good morning.
Hi, Courtney.
So one thing we heard loud and clear, still aiming to get rid of the deficit by 2015.
Yeah, they're predicting a lot of things happening in the economy, including commodities coming back in prices, and they're looking for 2015 to have a balanced budget or a slightly surplus budget, and that would be the budget of the spring of 2015, which is leading up to 2015 federal election. So they're playing a long political game with this budget today, or yesterday.
Which is smart, because we could see a new Liberal leader. Frontrunner Justin Trudeau could shake things up potentially that year.
It'll be interesting to see Harper and Flaherty against Justin Trudeau if he wins the leadership of the Liberal Party. And we can see Trudeau would be more of a mixed economy type of fellow who would be going for more spending in the government to promote the economy. So they're very different styles of parties with the different leaders.
All right, so no new taxes in the budget, which is good news. And there's more money for skilled workers here in Manitoba.
Yes, we saw in your news clip that Stephanie Forsyth, the head of Red River College, is happy with this type of a budget because it promotes skills trades, the skilled trades area in the labor market. One of the areas, though, that we're of concern to Manitobans is that we see a termination of provincial federal agreements next year to consolidate these monies into a big federal labor market program. And it might have some impact here locally.
In what way?
Well, similar to the immigrant nominee program, we've seen the federal government centralizing that away from the province, their money's being brought back into Ottawa's control. We see this also with this budget calling for labor market skills training to be more centralized, where they would be able to shift labor to different parts of the country rather than each province having its own labor market strategy.
Well, the budget itself seemed to be pretty tame, no big moves one way or another, but they did come in with the plan to remove the tariffs on sporting goods.
Yeah.
Is that kind of a move just to appease everybody?
Well, it's window dressing, and people in the middle class like to see things like the costs of things reduced, such as clothing and baby clothing and hockey gear. Also, keep in mind our Prime Minister is a big lover of hockey, and he attends almost all of his son's hockey games in Ottawa. So he probably has a personal connection to this endeavor in the budget, but also it feels nice to reduce the price of baby clothing, so that feels good.
Yeah, so when it makes a difference in your own pocketbook, that's when you start
not
to
my
appreciate
pocketbook, but others, yes.
Yes, some people out there. So were you surprised by the budget?
I expect a small C conservative budget. I expected to see more cutbacks on the public service, but we saw that last year, and in fact people here in Winnipeg were affected, especially Parks Canada was affected here in this area. But I think it was a fairly steady as you go type budget, and I think most people are a little bit relieved that there's not major turning towards austerity, but at the same time it is overly optimistic, I think, as to where the economy will be in a couple of years. They only have two tools to generate revenue, and that's taxes, and they didn't introduce new taxes, and they're hoping that the other type of revenue is by a better economy.
So very quickly, do you think that they can balance the books by 2015?
It's dependent upon largely commodities, exports like oils and minerals from Canada. And if you and I, Courtney, knew where those prices would be in the next couple of years, you and I would be very wealthy. So, you predict based on reality, but also optimism, and that's what they're doing.
Well, that's good. I appreciate your input. Thank you so much for coming by today.
Cheers.
And we'll have more on the budget coming up throughout the morning here on BT. We're taking a quick break. Stay with us.